Let's focus on how to work with something that exists already that might need maybe a little modification, or maybe even not. Maybe you're happy with the content as is. How would you go about the process? So we see an example of an interactive video here. On the bottom, the left bottom, you see this reuse icon here. When you hit this, this will prompt the download of this file with all the interactive elements it includes. So I'm going to download it onto my computer, and now I'm going into any of my Moodle courses, UFL Moodle courses. I'm in the summer instance, and you would need to find the section in your course where you want to bring in the activity, and then you find the activity menu. You hit add an activity, and then just scroll down slightly until you see the H5P icon come up. You hit this to get to the editor window. So this is where you would leave the instructions for the students. This is what they see when they click on the activity. So be precise as to what you want your students to do, and if this is a gradable activity, please also let them know that it is. And yeah, just on a side note, the editor in Moodle allows you to leave the instructions in the written and text form, of course, or maybe as an audio recording or a video of you. So you could add those. And now we'll move down a bit. Now we have to make the choice. You see, there are the two options that I said exist. Either create content from scratch or upload something that exists. So this video shows you how to do that. So you choose the upload, and then you hit the upload a file to locate the file that you want to work with on your computer. I found it, so I'm gonna import it. I'll open it, and now I have to hit use to bring it into the Moodle course. That might take a while depending on the size of the content. Now it's here, right? So now everything that I had on my computer is in our Moodle course, and I can now make the decision. Do I like the content as is? Then I could actually move down to look at the grading options and save it. But if I want to make some changes, you will first need to enlarge the editor window. So this is not Moodle. This is now H5P. It's an editor for the H5P activity. I see that the video is embedded, and I can have a look at the interactions that were added. So I see that at specific points in time, there are instructions here. I see, okay, there are, let's see what this is. There's a quiz embedded as well. Is something else embedded. Oh, I see there's a graphic embedded here as well, and let's see some other elements. So those are the interactive elements that already exist. If you wanted to add any more, any different ones, on the top you have the menu and you can choose. So you would drag this play button to where you want it in the video, and then let's say if this is the point, 5 minutes and 24 seconds, that you want something else to appear, you make your choice for what it is that you would like to include. Once you have made your additions, you can move to the summary task. This one doesn't actually have a summary task, but you could create one if you wanted to just check the understanding of specific elements in this video or the overall global idea. Yeah, looks like I don't want to add anything, so I say I'm done. And now we'll move to the saving function within Moodle. So we've made changes in the H5P editor, but now we move back to Moodle. This is where we are now in our Moodle course. In the settings for the H5P activity, we can scroll down to the very bottom because we need to also make a decision. Is this something that we want to grade? Then we would set the number of points here. If we had created a category in our gradebook, we could move the activity into that category within the gradebook. If you haven't yet created one, at any point in time you can still do so, and then move all H5P content into it if you wanted to. So this is where you set the points, and then you don't really have to worry about many of these things. By default, there's no grouping active, so if you have groups and you would like them to work on an H5P activity together, this is where you can activate it. You can also restrict the access. You can determine how this will show. Does it show to students as completed if they've merely looked at it? So you can set the conditions for how it shows for students to show. You can set a due date so students know that by then they have to have completed this, and then you would just save it, and now it is part of your course. So now it shows in your course. If you need to make any changes, we'll quickly go back to, you click on the activity itself to get into it. Okay, so here it is. You will find the administration block on the lower left, and that's where you can go into the settings again. What do you need in case you need to make any changes to this? So save and return to course will get us back to where we just were, to the main page. So there it is, our activity. I can move it freely to where I need it. So if it popped up in the wrong place, I can move it to somewhere else. But now let's look at the weighting for an activity. If you would go into the gradebook setup in the administration block, and here you see all the H5P activities listed, you would identify the one you want to weight, and then you could give it a weight maybe of 2% total in the course, or maybe 5%, or depending if it's like a full-blown session, it could be a higher value there too, right? So you would decide. You save your changes, and now this will show up as a gradable item. They all are gradable items. H5P automatically creates that, but let's assume some of your learning activities are not actually summative assessment. Then of course keeping them at a zero value weight doesn't count to the total of the grade. I hope this helps you understand how to import something that exists into Moodle, make your modifications, save it, and set the parameters in the gradebook the way you want them to.